Well, good morning to anybody who may be listening today. I hope you're well. I had some cheese this morning and it was wrapped in the most ostentatious and ridiculous piece of coated plastic film with a very sophisticated print finish in, I think, perhaps full colour, but certainly coloured. And I thought to myself, well, really, why can we not just go and buy a block of cheese, state the weight as we used to, and they can put it in some grease-proof paper or oilcloth or something? We have all sorts of ways of avoiding plastic. Plastic seems to be unhelpful, and the industrial processes required for all these print works are laborious, and ultimately it seems that this stuff gets actually into our body. So, we just need to stop using it. Using plastic for style parts or structural parts is completely unnecessary. There are far many better materials if we would only go back to the old ways a little bit. And sophisticated materials, if you like. You can make hemp fiber structural parts and use natural resins. There are many ways around all this stuff. We have all sorts of wood and skills in working it. We have ceramics and we have glass. And all those materials are superior. They're longer lasting. And they don't bring with them the risk that seems to be inherent in the use of plastic. It's so difficult to recycle and to use again. A bit of wood can always be turned to good purpose. So I'm against plastic generally. We don't need plastic bags and stuff. And in most cases, because we had electrical equipment also, that, using more ceramics than plastics. I don't know whether Bakelite is a form of plastic. But we didn't have this tremendous, all these advances in the field of synthesis, synthetics, abandoning natural materials, because of course we're told, well, natural materials are a dying resource, but they're not. They're just poorly managed if there's any lack of anything. But the market creates demand and supply also. We're told that materials are rare, but they're not really. Gold is quite common in the world. It's just all stored away in vaults. It'll always be an expensive material, but it's not out of our reach if we were only restored to our proper economic status. Gold and silver and copper and brass and all these materials can be employed very beneficially in making all sorts of things, and making durable things also. And go back to the butcher and to the dairy and the cheesemaker. Working with smaller production runs, of course, but the quality will increase. ultimately all the cost that goes into installing all this digital stuff and these digitally controlled packaging machines and lines, it amounts to the same thing. The cost is probably even superior. If people would just be content to be a butcher or a baker or a candlestick maker, then we could have really top quality goods and merchandise and food as we used to in the olden days. Now, I know that plastic is used to make certain types of bearings, and I don't know enough about it. Nylon is said to have self-lubricating properties, which maybe can't be found among natural materials. Diamonds are very good for bearings, and again, diamonds apparently, they're now commonplace. Industrial diamonds, maybe even natural diamonds. I believe their price was greatly inflated. The love of money being the root of all evil. But if it turned out that we need nylon to make a certain bearing in a machine that is absolutely beneficial to our people, then I'm sure a small amount of plastic could be made. I don't think it has to be cut and dried, but I just don't think it's a suitable material. It only lends itself to very large global markets, and very large global markets are highly inefficient. Local markets are the way forward. Local makers, local consumers. It's only common sense, actually. And I believe that common sense can be found in scripture throughout. Of course, the book of Proverbs, but even the law. When you really examine the law carefully, it's based on common sense. Even the law about not wearing two different fabrics together turns out to have a grounding in the effect that the different materials are known to have on the body. So even the most esoteric, shall we say, is still common sense. The prohibition of body markings, tattoos, it's also common sense because the tattoo ink is poisonous to the body. For one example, I mean, I've had tattoos, so I'm not a law keeper, but common sense and the law have an awful lot in common. And it's common sense that seems to have fled the land in recent years. Many lands indeed. And I look forward to its return in full force. God bless and have a wonderful day.